BNP Paribas, partenaire des plus belles histoires de Roland-Garros, aux côtés des ramasseurs de balles depuis plus de 50 ans.
Well, of course, no. I have been very, very emotional. I think it was perfect, honestly. No, I couldn't expect a more emotional day, so I can't thank enough to the president, to Gilles, to Amélie, and to all the people who made that day possible. Honestly, no, have been unforgettable. Plenty of emotions for a guy like me that. I don't love this kind of things because I'm still a little bit shy for all this stuff, and I don't like a lot to be the center of attention for these things. I was enough when I was playing tennis, but I enjoy it, honestly. No, I suffered a little bit with the emotions, but I enjoy it a lot. It was amazing. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone for making that day happen.
Do we have questions? We'll start with the front row, all the way at the end, the back t-shirt. Bonjour Raphaël. Over there, Raphaël.
Bonjour.
Juste ici, en français.
J'espère.
Merci pour tout déjà.
Merci.
Et est-ce que tu t'attendais notamment à cette plaque avec ton empreinte? Est-ce que ça t'a surpris? Qu'est-ce que ça provoque comme émotion? Merci.
Yes, have been an amazing surprise because I thought I didn't know, of course. Honestly, to answer a possible future question, I didn't know anything about the ceremony. The only thing that I knew before going there is going to be a video when I go on, and then I'm gonna be my speech, and then going to be a couple of surprises. But they didn't want me to know that. And then when I see that, I thought it was going to be just for this year, but knowing that's going to be forever there it's a present that I can't describe in words. No, but for me it was and it is, and it's always going to be a huge honor and very, very emotional to have this spot on the most important court of my tennis career, without a doubt. No, so yeah, it's difficult to describe the feeling, but it's something that really touched me. So yeah, very, very special. Thank you.
Hi, Rafa. Seeing the emotion from the crowd, but also Roger, Novak, and Andy here with you, is it one of these moments when you realize how much you guys meant for this sport and what an incredible page of history you've written?
Well, of course, no. I mean, this day at the end receive a tribute like I received today here in Paris, in Roland Garros, in France, is something very special, no? Because first of all, I am Spanish, and they make me feel when I was playing here the last, let's say, 12, 15 years, they make me feel like one more French player. That's the truth. And after all the respect and the love that they show me, the crowd, but not only the crowd, the organizers, let's talk about the Olympic Games, give me the possibility to receive the Olympic torch from Zizou in that spot, in that moment of the ceremony, shows how much the country and this city respect me. And you can't imagine how emotional and how big in terms of happiness and personal satisfaction that represents for me, So have my three biggest rivals there in the court with me meant a lot, and at the same time, it's a great message for the world, I think, that the best rivals, toughest rivalries probably in the history of our sport are able to be good colleagues, to respect each other. You don't need to hate the opponent, to try to beat him with all your forces. And that's the message that I think we showed the people, we showed the new generations, and in some way that's our legacy. The results are there, but at the same time, the results are just results. The rest of the things stays.
Hi, Rafa. Was the three of them being here one of those surprises, or did
Say again, sorry?
Did you know that those three rivals of yours were going to be here, or was that one of the surprises?
I
you
didn't know.
mentioned?
I didn't know, but I could imagine that that they come. You know, that's true. You know, the agendas of the people sometimes are difficult, but of course, probably they know that they're gonna make that day very special, and that day gonna be very special for me. Novak is playing here, so it's easier, but at the same time, Andy and Roger that just came in purpose mean a lot to me, because at the end, they represent a very important part of my tennis career, because in some way, we push it to each other to the limits, as I said in my speech, and that's the truth, you know. I think I always say the same, because we were four of the best rivals. In some way, when you are only two, you know, you can lose a little bit the motivation in some way, sometimes because the other, you know, start losing or gets injured. But here, being four, you know, you never had that margin, because always one of that four were winning the tournament, you know. So that, to put in perspective, never allowed us to stay relaxed or to give us a break in terms of intensity, in terms of determination of keep improving our game. So I think between us, we show us the way to follow to be better and better. And we achieved our dreams, and probably because of that kind of rivalries, we raise the numbers of the history of tennis to the next level. And that helps to the next generations to try to improve them. And I am sure that's going to happen.
Hi, Rafa. Hi, congrats and thank you. At the end of the tribute, we saw you talking with Andy, Roger, and Novak, the four of you together. What did you say to them, if you agree to tell it? Thank you.
Well, asking about life, families, and you know, my good friend Andy, that I was not able to, we were not in touch for a while. The day that Arsenal beat Real Madrid, when the match just finished, after 1 second, he texted me a message telling me, no, I'm going to read because it's quite good. So I feel that it's quite interesting. Hey, Rafa, haven't spoken to you in a while. Just checking in to make sure you are okay. So, honestly, it took me like 5 seconds to realize what I was reading. Because at the beginning, I said, okay, he's such a nice guy. Huh? He's asking me about how I'm doing, family, and after 5 seconds, I said, this always British. British sense of humor that. By the way, I didn't text him back when Inter beat Arsenal. Well, PSG, sorry.
Hi, Rafa. It's working? Okay. Hi. It was difficult not to cry for you, but also for many people who saw you when you were 16, winning in Monte Carlo against Albert Costa. 7-5, 6-3 in the evening, artificial lights, when everybody almost had left because there was a party that night at the Sporting, and you beat him, the winner of the Roland Garros the year before. How, well, you say, we have to thank you, because you say thanks to everyone, but we as journalists, we have to thank you for what you gave us. You have been an hero of this sport, and it was difficult not to praise you for what you have done. I don't know what was your relationship in general with the journalists, but you had to see them quite a lot. Sometimes we were bothering you with questions, with the interviews, asking one-on-one. But I think the relation between us and you were normally great. I don't know if you agree. And I was crying too.
Thank you very much, Waldo. Well, thank you for that. I think we had always a good relationship. I thank you, everyone, but it's true, because I felt very well respected from most of you during all my career. And it's true that tennis players are more exposed than almost any other sport, because at the end we tend you before every tournament, we tend you before after every single match. Doesn't matter we win, we lose. So we come here and we answer your questions. In other sports like football or popular sports, they don't have to do it every single day. But in some way, that's I think it's a very positive learning, because at the end it's about self-control. It's about learn how you deal with sometimes tough situations, sometimes with moments of frustration. But at the same time, you have to come here and be respectful for everyone. And I feel very well respected from all of you, and I hope you felt the same way from my side. I tried, and it's always, nothing is perfect. We did things better, things worse, but I tried my best to be nice and to be to be respectful with all of you.
Question on the left here.
Hello, Rafa. The fans and the media, we do remember the 14 titles you had. We remember the matches, the semifinals, the finals, etc. I wanted to know if you are this kind of guy that does remember the second round in 26, the second round in 06, the semifinal in 08, etc. Do you remember clearly all your matches? And if yes, what was the edition the most hard, maybe, and the most emotional among the 14?
The edition?
Yeah.
I tell you one funny thing. I was this kind of guy that I remembered every single point almost, but I lost that privilege years ago. It's true. I don't forget. I don't remember most of the things. I used to remember a lot. Every tournament, every game. Now, not anymore. It's true, probably because I closed that chapter of my life. But if I have to choose an edition in terms of, let's say, let me choose a couple of editions, couple of years, because one, it's difficult. But 2006 was so special for me after coming back from my, very tough foot injury. That was very, very emotional. People think about 2008 because it's true that is the year that I played better. But probably because of that is not one of these years that I remember with high emotions, because I won the tournament without suffering that much. So for my mentality, I remember more the tournaments that I suffered, the tournaments that I needed to fight a lot. That year I played so well, so I don't have an amazing memory. Of course, 2010 after losing, 2009 have been so important for me. And 2012 too, because I almost achieved the Grand Slam of finals. I lost in Wimbledon, I lost in the US Open, I lost in Australia after 6 hours, and then I was able to break that momentum here, so that was so important for me. And then of course 2020 was unexpected, and 2022 was the most, probably the toughest in all ways, for all the things that happened before and during the tournament. So that's the editions that stays forever in my mind, without a doubt, more than the rest.
Question in the second row over there.
Hello, Rafa.
Hello.
Thank you for everything, and I hope you are enjoying your retirement.
Thank you.
I want to know about that. I mean, how's it like to be a retired tennis legend? What do you do? I mean, your daily routine. How often do you play tennis? You seem to be in a very good shape, and
not because of my practices of tennis, because I didn't catch a racket yet after my retirement, so it's 8 months without being on a tennis court. But I will be back at some point, because at some point I will be finding for me to prepare myself to play any exhibition or something like this. But even if I had a lot of opportunities to make that, I needed to give myself a time of this connection, you know, because at the end, play exhibitions is not only go there and play the match. It's about all the preparation that requires that. Because when you play an exhibition, you want to show a good level of tennis, no, for the fans and for everybody who organize. So my daily routine is no routine. I have no routine today. I am just learning about this next chapter of my life, that I have projects like my academy, like the hotel company, like the supplements company that I did with Cantabria Labs, with Helio Care. And I take care of my foundation too, and I take care of my family, you know, and I am discovering what really motivates me for this new life. So it's not easy in terms of choosing your next goal. But for me, it's so important to have goals in this life, because a life without objectives is more difficult from my point of view. So I am discovering what really excites me and motivates me to keep going, and that's all. I am having fun. I don't miss much tennis because I felt that I gave all what I had. You know, I arrived at the day of today with the peace that I can't be on court. You know, my body don't allow me to be on court. So that's all. I am in peace. I did all what I could to have the best career possible. And now I am enjoying this new phase of my life that I'm sure going to be less exciting than the tennis career, because the adrenaline that the sports gives to you, I think it's impossible to find in other things in life. But that don't mean that I'm going to be less happy. I can be happier with less adrenaline and taking care of different things. Thank you.
Hi, Rafa. As an extension of that, one of the things that really characterized your career was your love of competition and how competitive you were. Do you feel that you will want to find something to really be competitive about in the future in your life?
I don't need to compete in a high stages, you know. I tell you something funny. After a couple of, when I retired for the next few months, I lost all my competitive spirit, you know. That's true. I don't know why, but I was playing golf or anything else, and I didn't care if I lose, if I win, if I play well, if I play bad, and it was a strange feeling for me and not funny. I didn't like to experience that. Being honest, you know, because I understand the sport in another way. But that's past. I am competitive again. Just to let you know, I am enjoying my diary competitions when I play golf, when I do things. But I think in a much nicer way, you know, not. And in terms of business and all this stuff, I probably gonna have my motivation to grow the things, to develop things, and to learn about these things. Because at the end, I was a tennis player. That because of that, I was able to get some experience about different facets in life. But I need to learn a lot of things now, and I am in this process. And I am excited about learning and improving from the best.
Question on the left. Rafa, you mentioned a bit on court about coming here and winning your first title 20 years ago. I just wondered what your main memories are from that 2005 tournament.
I didn't mention that. You said what you said. So again,
yeah, you mentioned on court about coming here winning for the first time 20 years ago, and I just wondered what your main memories are from that 2005 tournament.
Well, it was the first tournament that I approached with the feeling that something special can happen, because it was the first slam that I was one of the candidates. So I was nervous, that's 100%. But at the same time, when you are 18 years old, you have plenty of energy, and in some way you are less worried about everything, you know. You have this fresh mentality about not thinking much about the negative things that can happen, just thinking about the motivation of play your best, of trying your best and winning. And that's what I remember. A guy with plenty of energy and with an amazing passion and motivation for what I was doing.
In the second row.
Hi, Rafa. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What do you think about João Fonseca?
João Fonseca, it's a very young player that started his career doing very, very well. He has a great future in front. I wish him all the very best. I met him a couple of times. Seems like he has a very good entourage with his family and with the people who is next to him. He's very well educated, so I really hope that he has a great future in front.
Rafa, thank you so much for everything, for so many. You've had this just incredible career from a young boy to just a short while ago. Stepping back, if you could say one quality or two qualities, one aspect that give you the most satisfaction, the most pride in your incredible career. Can you express that?
Well, in a few words, probably determination, very important, and that brings to the next things, passion about every single day that you are going on a practice court, and that's spirit of improvement. I always went on court on every single practice session with the goal to improve. I never went on a tennis court just for practice. I always went on a tennis court with the goal to improve something. And that's one of the keys of my longevity and my success, I think, because I had to face a lot of injuries. So without that spirit of improvement to compensate all the things that I was losing on the road, it will be impossible. So that's what I am prouder about.
Back to the second row.
Yeah, Rafa, thank you. You gained the heart of people with your results as a champion, but also as the human being you are. When we speak with the ball kids, with the drivers, they all say that you were the most respectful player, always nice to everyone. Is this something you maybe as proud of as your results?
Of course. I always say the same. The results are results, and of course, I will be remembered for what I did on court. It's going to stay there without a doubt. To the bigger audience, you can in some way lie, but you can't lie the people who are next to you every single day, And I don't talk about family, that at the end is family. I say about team. I talk about team, about people who work behind the scenes, but they are able to see you every single day, how you react, how you are after losing, after winning, how you behave during all these moments, the drivers, the ball kids, At the end, I want to be remembered as a guy that people are happy when I come back to the places to see me again. That's the thing, and that's the important thing. When you are retired, where you don't go to the places for a while, if you feel that the people who are working and behind the scenes, but they know how you are real in a real life. These people want to see you again and are happy to see you again. It's good news. So, and I had that feeling almost in every place.
Hey, Rafa, congratulations. It was a special ceremony.
Thank you so much.
I know you spent all of your life pretty much in your career trying to get the most out of yourself every day, the best, and improve on yourself. And you got to 14 Roland Garroses. How would you feel if somebody else got the most out of themselves and they got more than 14?
I always said the same, and even if I know that's going to be difficult, being honest, I really say and I really feel that if I did it, I don't consider myself somebody very, very special. Another one gonna come, I'm gonna achieve that too. Putting in perspective that a lot of things needs to happen in your favor to make that happen, because you need a long career, because you can have a lot of injuries, even if I had, but I only retired here once in 2016, but it was a year that I had my chance. But you can have injuries, you can have very, very bad days. So you need some lucky too. So to win 14 Grand Slams in the same place, here in Roland Garros, that can happen, but it's gonna take a while, at least 30 more years.
Right. May I please have a question? Oh, right. Thank you, Rafa. It's been a great privilege to watch you play, to cover you so many years. So thank you for that. 20 years ago, when you came to Roland Garros, could you ever have imagined that 20 years later your name would be on the court, and your family, your grandmothers, your son, your wife, your mother and father, your entire family would be here to see that moment? What does that mean to you, that your name is right there on the court at Chatrier and will always be on that court?
Well, I said at the beginning, for me it's impossible to describe in words what represents for me to have this space in the most important court in my life. You know, that's the truth. It's as simply as that. You know, my gratitude to the people who made that happen is infinite. And 20 years ago, I was thinking about the next practice. You know, I was thinking about my next tournament, and I never thought about becoming one of the best players of all time, or winning Grand Slams, or all this stuff. I just worried about trying to improve every single day. And I felt that way during all my career, you know, and probably step by step, that's why I was able to build my career, this successful career, because I always had doubts, and I never considered myself that good. And that's the truth. Even today, I feel that, of course, numbers are amazing, but I never considered myself somebody special in a real way, not in a, you know, trying to be humble, no, in a real way. You know, I just, of course, my results were there, but every time when I went on court, I had the feeling that I can lose. And I never lost that feeling during all those years. And that probably sometimes didn't help me, that feeling, but overall in my long career, without a doubt, that was very important.
All the way at the back. Rafa, hi. Congratulations on the ceremony. You know more than most people the sacrifices that it takes to get to the very top of the sport and to stay there for that long, and all the things you have to give up to be a professional sportsman. Would you like it if your son were to be a tennis player or a professional sportsman of any kind?
If my son lives the tennis career the way that I lived, of course, yes. Because as you mentioned about sacrifices, about all the things that you lost to become professional, I never had that feeling, you know. I never had the feeling that I did a lot of sacrifices. I never had the feeling that I lost a part of my life to become professional. I never lost, in a way, things on when I was a youngster because of tennis. I just was not able to do all the things that my friends were doing every weekend. But I was able to do all the things, and I did it. And at the same time, when you are doing what you want to do, you are not doing sacrifices. You work hard, of course. You push as much as you can, but you do what you want to do. So let's say if my son feels that way, I will support him. I don't think going to be the case, but I will support him on anything that he wants to do. But most important thing, from my point of view, is when you do something, you don't have to feel that because you are doing that, you are losing a lot of things. Because if not, you start from a wrong perspective. So that's my point of view.
We'll finish with a few questions in Spanish.
Thank you very much.